Talking about Biden's age isn't irrelevant, it's just pointless. He's the candidate. And sure, as far as marketability, it might have been better if the Democrats were running a 60-year-old Joe Biden and not the 80-year-old Joe Biden. But as far as qualifications and capability, I'm not sure there's anyone better than 80-year-old Joe Biden in 2024. Joe Biden has presided over the strongest post-pandemic recovery in the G7. He's added over 13 million jobs to our economy. He passed the Infrastructure and Jobs Act to finally fix our crumbling roads and bridges, rid the country of lead pipes, and bring even the most rural locations in America high-speed broadband. He's strengthened U.S. alliances and partnerships all around the world, stood up for democracy as an autocratic rival nation attempted to take over a democratic one. He found an alternative to our dependence on China by signing a comprehensive strategic partnership with Vietnam. He brought semiconductor manufacturing back to the U.S., passed the PACT Act to support our veterans and their survivors, passed a bill to protect the fundamental right to marriage, signed executive orders to help protect reproductive rights as the Republicans strip them away from us every day. He passed the most historic climate action in our nation's history through the Inflation Reduction Act, an act which also reduced the cost of pharmaceutical drugs and capped insulin for seniors at $35. He canceled more than $127 billion in student loan debt for 3.6 million citizens and passed the most significant gun safety law in decades. He's also managing to lead in a way no one else could have during the crisis that's happening in the Middle East, standing strong with our ally Israel while continuing to send hundreds of millions of dollars in humanitarian aid to the innocent Palestinians caught in the crossfire. There is no simple solution to that terrible crisis, but I am relieved that it's Joe Biden and the competent Democrats he's placed in charge that are at the wheel right now. Joe Biden may be chronologically old, but he's extraordinarily competent. I don't know about you, but I don't vote for leaders based on their looks or their age or their gender. I vote for leaders who share my values and have the ability to accomplish what they say they're going to accomplish. Everything else is just window dressing. And honestly, if you truly feel hung up on age, please remember that Biden has surrounded himself with the youngest, most diverse group of staffers in modern history. And his vice president, if you can look past the racism and misogyny, is a wildly competent, brilliant woman in her 50s. Biden's emphasis on empathy and inclusivity had him hosting White House meetings with young social media influencers because he knows that's where the youth of America are getting their news, and he wanted to meet them where they were. He's humble and collaborative, and we'd be fools to forget that the upside of age is wisdom, something Joe Biden has in spades. He knows how Washington works, which is why he's been able to get more done in his first term than any president in the last 100 years. Hell, anecdotally, Joe Biden's exceptionally close to his grandchildren, so he actually cares about the future he's leaving for them. Could you say the same thing about his opponent? I'm not entirely sure the Republican frontrunner even knows his grandchildren's names. Biden's age has become such a trope that even when he over-delivers like he did in his whirlwind diplomatic tour overseas, people still act like he was infirmed and not headlining 40-minute press conferences after pulling all-nighters. Honestly, I'm in my 40s and you should see me after a transatlantic flight. I'm a wreck. I'm out for a day. Biden is fit and active and healthy. Yeah, he's old, but Trump's only 3 years younger and in far poorer health, so what are we even talking about? The idea that new polling shows that Biden and Trump are seen as nearly equally corrupt and mentally unfit is out of the realm of reality. But it sure is a testament to the power of partisanship and the destructive nature of a press corps who prioritizes viewership and ad dollars over truth and facts. At the end of the day, age shouldn't matter. Competence should. Values should. Actions should. As NYU professor and expert on authoritarians and propaganda Ruth Ben-Ghiat says, we have to make sure more people understand that Joe Biden is the bulwark protecting our democratic freedoms from the alternative, and that the alternative is so much worse than most Americans can imagine. So let's just stop it with the age thing. It is what it is. The question is, which boomer on the ticket is going to steer the country in the direction you want to go? Because the captain sets the course, and I care where he's headed, not how many candles are on his cake.